Next time people when there's no action. I'm getting through an ad. Did you not get my texts or phone calls or anything?
Sorry about any technical difficulties that we might have been having, but we seem to be good to go now. And a perfect opportunity to get the audio back because Wilson has it with only about 2 yards to score. Throws it in. Great defense by AU. Thank you all for joining us. I know you couldn't hear us past 5 or 10 minutes, but you're here now, ready to go. Wilson gets a great D.
Wilson has great field position here.
It's a beautiful night for ultimate. 66 degrees out, not much wind, only 2 miles an hour. Very humid out. Wilson has it on their home sideline looking to score. Upline cut from Margot, very close to the end zone. Sees nothing open. And there's Juliet with the score. Great start for Wilson, 1-0. Very solid upline cut from Margot to Juliet.
Wilson takes the early 1-0 lead. And to everyone joining us, we are playing AU. And Wilson has just scored the first point of the game. Great start by Wilson. Let's see how AU can bounce back.
AU will be in the white jerseys and Wilson in the dark jerseys.
Great way to start the game here. Somewhat of a long point. Those are very crucial to get if you want to win games.
Because Wilson won that point, they will be pulling to AU, so they will be coming down in defense, and AU will be on offense.
It looks like Margaret will be pulling.
Wilson seems to be having a mix of new players and veterans on each line, trying to spread that knowledge of the game throughout each line individually.
That's very crucial. Veterans leading the rookies. That's what you want as a team. A lot of new players this year for Wilson, as the girls team does have around 20 to 25 players, while AU seems to have a much smaller team, maybe about 4 to 5 subs. Wilson definitely has the advantage in depth.
Wilson gets their defense set, making sure they know who they're matched up on, as well as any additional strategy they might be using.
Last point, we did see AU come out in a horizontal stack, and we'll see if they do that again. Interesting strategy from AU. As some might know, Wilson does run a traditional vertical stack, and they will continue to do so. all of you are having a great night. It's 66 degrees, a nice brisk night, but perfect Frisbee weather. A little overcast, a little dewy as well. Disc is a little bit slippery tonight, as we have seen, and we'll see if that has any impact on the game tonight.
It looks like Wilson's about ready to pull. Seems to have switched to Nava, the pull. And she will go ahead and pull it. Land at about the 45-yard line. AU will have pretty good field position here. And they will look to run a horizontal stack yet again, it looks like.
As far as back this time, last time had 3.
As far as I know, Wilson has not learned how to play defense on this, but I'm sure it's very similar to a vert stack. And just like that, they get a turn. Nothing to it.
Great defense by Wilson so far this game. Nice hand blocks and running down that stall count. It's just what they need in this game.
Disc is tapped in. Wilson looks for someone open down the field. It's thrown. Not to the intended target, but that doesn't really matter. Finds Delaney. Resets it. Great reset. Nava looks for an open player down the field. And it's Deed, unfortunately. Threw that into a little bit too much coverage. Defender was rather close to Justine there.
Now it seems that AU has 3 handlers back, definitely mixing it up with the handlers, but they continue to run their horizontal stack.
Short throw up the field, gains them only about 5 yards. Wilson will look to keep it there.
Sadly, the completion was able to happen.
Another short throw of about 5 yards. Looks for someone open. It's up in the air. A little too much blade on that throw. Landed down just out of the reach.
And that's a very hard catch to make. With that disc blading down, you really need to time that perfectly to get that. Trying to throw it into a short window there, and she was not able to come down with it. As Wilson is pinned back by their own end zone.
Gets a little bit of room there. Throw from Nava to Delaney, and another throw that is Deed by AU. They'll have just about 10 yards to go before they can make sure they score this point.
Some great defense so far from both teams. A lot of hand blocks, a lot of late stall counts, and looks like they're both very defensive-minded teams, just trying to grind out to get those points.
Ooh, bobbled a little, but still maintains possession. AU has a lot of people in the same space. Makes it really hard to move the disc around the field. And there's a turn right in the corner of the end zone.
AU's offense has been very clumped up as of late. Very tight windows thrown in, and as we saw there, a little too tight there.
Ella will make that first cut. Seems to have a little separation, but Margaret didn't think there was enough. Great timed cut by Justine. Just what Wilson needed to get this out of their own side. She'll look to reset it. Pump fakes her up line. Great catch by Margaret. Margaret shimmies the disc around a little, trying to provide some misdirection to her defender. And that's up in the air. Who can come down with it? And great throw and catch to Ella. Justine will get it. Wilson's had some great movement. Series of shorter throws followed by one longer one. We'll see what they continue to do here. Helen with a great throw to Delaney. Ooh! Ella will catch it with just about 2 yards to go. Will she rush it? Gotta take your time there. Great movement by Wilson all the way down the field. Just couldn't finish the very last part of scoring that point.
Tough for Wilson there. Had about 10 to 15 completions downfield, all the way from their own end zone. But sadly, we're not able to finish it off.
On the bright side, they will be pinning AU very close to their own end zone if they can get a good defense
Looking for a
here.
defensive stop here. It'd be nice to get the disc back right near AU's end zone, potentially get a scoring opportunity. Seems AU's offense is very clumped.
Yeah.
Running that horizontal stack, that can happen.
And Wilson takes advantage of that stagnant offense. Not much movement
looks
there.
like Wilson's going to try to slow down the disc, get an end zone going with three handlers back.
Wilson will pull 3 handlers back just as they practiced. Margaret yells disc in, sees Justine open and a tiny bit over her head. Could have been some of the moisture on that disc. Causes it to slip a little.
It has been raining today. Definitely does play a factor in the disc and how it travels. As we saw earlier, a throw from Margot slipped out of the hand, and definitely this weather is causing an impact on the game. As now AU is pinned back at their own end zone for the second time in a row. We'll see if they're able to get out.
Really doesn't seem to have anything open. Great defense from Wilson as well. Sliding catch by AU. Looks for anything that could be open. Great defense from Ella. Runs all the way through that disc and swats it down to the ground. That'll provide great opportunity for Wilson to put their second point of the night on the board. Wilson will continue to have 3 handlers back here. Looking to have a lot of space. Throws it up. A little out of the reach. For a second there, I thought Wilson might have had that second effort, but AU smartly swats that disc down to the ground to prevent any second effort opportunities. Another turn. Wilson seems to be playing some great defense here.
Wilson just trying to get in their end zone. Just yards away from a point, but they look to get it in the third time.
And they'll be running their normal offense here as opposed to an end zone offense. Looks to reset it. Just out of the reach of the defender. Great timing on that cut. Throw arrives a tiny bit late. By the time she landed from that jumping catch, didn't have much time to get that throw off and ensure a completion.
Interesting approach from Wilson on that offense. Did not go end zone
Great
there.
D from Delaney there, it looks like.
Let's see if they go end zone here. Maybe just a bit too far outside, and they seem to be going with their normal horizontal stack.
It does seem to be that way.
Vertical
Margaret
stack,
doesn't see
of course.
anything open. Wise choice. Oh, Justine gets her hands on it. Just barely out of the reach. A little bit too high. Wilson continues to play some very strong defense here, keeping them very close to their own end zone.
AU back with 3 handlers again.
Another great D from Delaney. That's 2 in a row.
Wilson just really looking to get in the end zone now. Disc has been on AU's side for quite a while, and let's see if they're able to get it.
Not for what's got to be 3 or 4 minutes. Wilson will have 3 handlers back, and she looks to be open. Puts it into space. Oh, that was beautiful. Put just the right amount of air under it.
And that's just what Wilson needed.
Runs to the disc. That was put out into space. Catches it.
Wilson taking a commanding 2-0 lead here. Both points have been somewhat long, that second one being almost 10 minutes long, and Wilson comes out on top yet again. Just a beautiful end zone set right there.
As you can see, there's a lot of great support from the boys' ultimate team here. See a good number of them out here tonight. All grades. We have freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and our 2 captains, Chuck and Riley, I saw around.
Just great to see all the support from the boys' team here. Definitely giving the girls' team a boost as they have came out with a commanding 2-0 lead. Only about 2 points so far in the first 20 minutes, but still a very fast-paced game. As we have
Lily Frankel will look to pull one of this team's 2 captains. Oh, that's a great pull from Lily. I'll stay perfectly centered on AU's 32-yard line. And that seems to be a turn right away. Wilson's been playing some stifling defense. Shan will tap in the disc. Looks for anything open downfield. Oh, and that's narrowly dropped. Had both hands on it. Seemed to flutter to the ground though. Up in the air. Ooh, great catch by AU. Oh, and that's a hand block by Shan, it looks like. That was a great block.
great.
Stuck her hand out, shaking that hand out. I'm sure that has to hurt. Seemed to have a lot of power on that. Shan pump fakes, doesn't see Peyton there. Great reset to Lily. Looks for anything to the break side. Slips through the fingertips of Liberty. They'll look to get it back on defense. AU will start with 3 handlers back yet again. Great snag. Just got it before it went off the ground. Good continuation throw down the middle of the field. However, dropped by AU. Shan will pick up the disc. Look to advance it down a little bit. Waits to make sure her team is ready, then taps it in. Peyton cuts from the front of the back of the sack. Nothing there. That was a great upline cut from Lily. Also a very decent throw.
Great put by Shan. Great upline cut as well, but did not come down with it.
AU will look to advance it up in the air. Some great catches from AU tonight. Lofting up in the air again. Another magnificent catch. Third time was not the charm there. Could not have 3 great catches in a row. That one drops to the ground.
Yeah, you're moving a very fast pace on offense here with their horizontal stack as Wilson is pinned on their own 20-yard line.
Really will look for anything open downfield. Find Sharita. Great cut there. Couldn't wrangle it in.
Loose spag out the middle of the field here. Interesting move by AU.
Pump fakes. Doesn't see anything. Pump fakes again. And again. And again.
Stall count's getting up there.
Yeah, it really is. Great defense. Has to put out a desperation shot.
Oh, what a catch.
Caught. However, the next one wasn't quite there.
Great catch there by that AU player. Leading throw, and she was able to come down with it. However,
Yeah.
was not able to get into the end zone.
And that was all possible because of that desperation heave that was caused through some great defense by Sharita.
Wilson has been menacing on defense today. As
Oh,
they
great
look to
catch.
continue it.
She'll look to continue. Sees nothing open. Downfield cutters will clear back on the stack. Great reset from Shan Shan. That disc was put into space. This seemed to slip a little bit from Shan Shan there. Great defense from AU as well, making sure no stray Wilson player could come and catch that.
Humidity definitely playing a part in this game. Disc seems to be a little bit slippery.
Yeah, there you go. Yet again, disc drops to the ground.
Wilson has been pinned by their own end zone for quite a while now as they look to advance it, just to get a little bit of separation.
Shan Shan taps in the disc, looks for Peyton. Sees nothing open. Another great up line. That's a second one.
As a coach, you just love to see that reset sequence be perfectly executed.
Great throw there again. Another one to Peyton. Great catch. Liberty cuts under. And that's a great catch. Redemption from earlier. Oh, that's a beautiful reset right on his face. Just a little bit over the head of Shan Shan. She'll look to get it back on defense.
A little too far here. However, Wilson's reset sequence has been very crisp so far.
It has been very good.
As both teams have really been stifling on defense here.
Oh, and that's a deep throw up. That's actually a very good throw. And she comes down with it. Another great throw. Still a little bit out of the reach. That'll roll into the end zone for Shan Shan to pick up.
AU has had some tremendous catches this game, but however, just not able to execute once they get in that end zone.
AU seems to be having some trouble with keeping those discs flat, which is something you usually want. It's played to Wilson's advantage as many of the errant throws have come from those blading discs. Upline cut.
Beautiful.
I think that's the third or fourth one from Lily. Really cannot be stopped on those upline cuts.
Shan Shan showing why she is a difference maker. Has been running that reset sequence.
Oh, that's great move. That is great movement from Wilson right there. Liberty will look to move it downfield, but sees nothing open, so look to reset it. Smart move to pump fake. Didn't see anything there. Reset sequence wasn't there, so she had to put it down the field for Sharita. Unfortunately, dropped to the ground.
As another long point here by AU and Wilson, as we've seen for the previous two. And Wilson just looking to take a 3-0 lead here.
That's a good throw from AU. Got that throw more flat this time. Another great catch, one-handed. Oh, and that's in the end zone. It seems to be a little miscommunication there from the two of them. We had one cutter running in from the right side, another one from the left. The left one seemed to get one of their hands on it, and it fell to the ground. Seems to be an injury.
Hope she's okay.
So in this situation, that means the injured player will obviously go off, as well as a choice. If the coach chooses, they can send one of their players off the field, so they elect to do that to get some fresh legs in the game.
Wilson yet again pinned in their own end zone, however.
Great
the
fill
way this
from
reset
Liberty.
sequence has been going, they seem to be unstoppable. It's another great reset.
Sound catch. That's up in the air. Great job checking the disc there.
Wilson really been taking it slow and steady so far. A lot of resets, a lot of short throws.
Yes, for sure.
But it has been working.
So look to reset it yet again. Seems to be a little miscommunication there, a little too far in front. AU has really been getting those quick throws. Rushing it, some might say. However, they're very close to the end zone with only one or two more throws. And it's dropped in the end zone by AU. Wilson catches a break there.
Wilson has gotten somewhat lucky on these end zones. AU just cannot seem to get it in, despite how close they've been.
Bobbling catch by Lizzie.
Great catch there. Really stick with it.
Really great catch. Upline cut. Smartly does not throw it. Instead, looks for that fill. And she puts it A ways down for Liberty. Oh,
Come down with it.
throw was slightly underthrown. Liberty had to come in. Really tough catch.
Great fill there by Lily. Great throw deep as well. However, Liberty was not able to come down with it.
Another blading throw there that couldn't quite be handled by this AU offense.
Seen lots of blading throws here today by AU. Could be in part of the humidity. Has been hard to throw that disc.
Great catch there. We'll look to move it down the field. Pump fakes up line. Great up line cut there. Liberty looks to do the same, however, Lily sees that it's not open. And that's great defense from AU. Now these kids are in college, keep in mind, so they have some experience playing this game, I imagine. That means they're definitely going to be tough to stop on offense, as well as some great defense from them. Taps in the disc on their home sideline.
Lady throw, just not able to come down with these. As another long point here, almost around 10 minutes, as each team really looks to capitalize here, as AU in a 2-point deficit. We really don't want to give this up. Doesn't defense from AU there. Shanshan was not able to come down.
Shanshan looked to run the wheel there, smartly noticed it wasn't open, went up line, however couldn't quite get her hands on the disc. Fell to the ground there. Been another long point. This is only the third of the game. Wilson has won both of the points thus far.
AU is still sticking with that horizontal.
That's up in the air for whoever wants it. It'll fall to the ground. Good defense from Wilson there.
See if AU ever decides to switch up their offense, as it has not been working too well so far.
Shanshan will tap in the disc. Lizzie will turn on those burners, try to get open. Doesn't seem to be open, but the reset's there. Great throw by Shanshan. Putting it out into space.
Love to see that as player.
Another reset. Oh, Liberty, beautifully timed cut. Just couldn't quite get the throw up enough for where she needed it. I can imagine fatigue is starting to become a factor for a lot of these Wilson players, as well as AU.
See if either team decides to take a timeout here, as I can't imagine how tired these players are.
Yeah. AU will look to slow it down a little more. They've been rushing it a fair amount. Very
AU has
blatant
really been looking for a
throw.
lot of deep shots here, however, just cannot stop the bleeding discs. As Shanshan will pick up the disc, orchestrate the offense.
Notices there's nothing there, looks to reset it. Another great reset throw from Shanshan. Lizzie looks for that deep cut, then comes under. That throw narrowly missed two defenders, but just through the hands of Liberty.
Another great throw there by Lily, just was not able to come down with it.
Wow, great catch. Then again, a little rushed. After that great catch, immediately wanted to look towards the end zone.
AU does seem a little rushed here. Surprised why they aren't slowing it down when they're so close to the end zone, but that's the way it is. A little too far there. AU back on offense.
Great pump fake there to get the defender off her tail. However, it is a turn. Now Wilson does have some experience playing with,
And it looks
like that's a
will call
timeout. Now that's a great move from Shanshan, as a lot of these players have to be very tired. And that will lead me to talk about some of their experience playing with college teams before. This is not actually their first time. Just this weekend, they played against college teams, including UMBC, who they actually defeated. up in Baltimore. Really great win from them there.
Wilson really has shown they can compete with the best of them, and showing that over UMBC, and a great showing so far against AU.
As they're up 2-0.
And do keep in mind the point is not over. A timeout has been called as Coach Kelly is regrouping the offense. Really trying to potentially put this game away if they are able to score. We don't know how long this game will go. It is currently 8:43. We believe it will go until 9:30. However, we are not sure. There's still a lot of time left in this game, though, and we'll see if AU's offense can start clicking. We have seen tonight, Shanshan and Lily have been just running the reset sequence beautifully. Shanshan putting the disc into space. Lily made some great throws earlier as well. You just love to see that as the coach of the girls team. Seeing those veterans, Lily is a senior and a captain on this team, really just leading the offense, helping the players around her. That's what you love to see.
You can sense the importance of this point, as it has been going for nearly 15 minutes now. Each team really wants this point, grinded for it. Wilson wants to add that third point, and AU looks to get their first point of the night.
As we have seen AU, very aggressive on offense, very fast pace as well. A lot of rush throws and just not able to come down with them. They have been very close to scoring numerous occasions and just really have not been able to put it in the end zone. And they look to turn that around. As the game will resume just about now. Wilson in their vertical stack.
As the rules of Ultimate say, the offense gets to set up first, and then the defense will do their setup when the offense is all ready. So we see that here.
Shanshan will be tapping the disc. Lily has the reset. As they look to score here at their own 25-yard line.
Upline a little bit further behind her.
It's AU here. You really want to keep it slow. You have great field position. And just taking it slow, looking for those resets. Don't want to rush anything here.
Pump fakes. This AU player really loves their pump fakes. However, throw wasn't quite there.
Just not able to come down with it again. A lot of lady throws we've seen here. As AU looks to turn that around.
Wilson really needs to get it off this half of the field. You'd find a lot more success if they were able to get it over there.
Another great reset there. Just not able to come down with it.
That throw, really quite deceptive. Tailed to the left at the very end. Curved to the right for the duration of the flight, but at the very end, tailed to the left. Really couldn't quite read it. Don't think that was wind there. Rather just the type of the throw. Nearly caught there in the end zone for AU's first point. However, it's a very deceptive first point. Could not quite get it.
AU right on the goal line there, but just was not able to capitalize. Shanshan will bring it out. Just looking to advance this disc. Has been on the AU side of the field for a good 5, maybe even 6 minutes.
Great cut by Lizzie. Had lots of separation there. Pump fake Shanshan. She worked up the field. Good idea from Lizzie to throw that. Just a little bit behind her. AU, yet again, looks to punch it in.
Still going with that horizontal stack.
Some good movement from AU. Good idea, as defenders seem to be a little bit behind her. However, some catching up was made, and they were able to get that disc to fall to the ground. Shan pump fakes smartly. Great reset there.
Where are the hands?
Yeah. Here we go. This is AU's biggest opportunity tonight, and there it is.
Finally capitalizing there. Numerous occasions where AU just on that goal line, but isn't able to punch it in. But
Right.
they're finally able to. It was a 2-1 game here.
Even there, they choose to play it very quick when most teams would take their time and set up an offense. They choose to just run someone down in there and put their first point of the night on the scoreboard.
That's really just AU's play style. Moving the disc fast, looking for those open spaces, and offensively has not seemed to be working too well, however. With their first point on the board, Wilson holds their 1-point lead as they look to bounce back after this one. They will be receiving the disc as AU will be pulling, wasting no time getting to the line. As we saw AU player just wide open in the end zone on a quick turn, just capitalizing on that great field position.
That has got to be one of the longest points that I've ever witnessed. Really, so much grit from this Wilson team. All 7 of those players, 8 actually because of that injury there, really fighting. Although they didn't want the point.
Unfazed by that long point, just looking to get back out here and come back with a score. As that was one of the longest points I have witnessed. As Wilson has been running the reset sequence to perfection with Shan and Lily as the main handlers so far. Shan really been putting disc into space. Love to see that. Lily has had some great throws as well. And just really moving that disc well and see if they can continue to do that.
There's a pull from AU. Will land right around the 50-yard line. Margot will pick up that disc. Look to advance it down the field. Juliet, one of this team's strongest cutters. Doesn't seem to be open. Down the field. Great cut from Lizzie. Oh, what a snag from Lucy there. Great reset as well. And a well-timed cut. Great catch. And immediately follows it.
Oh,
Was that in? Will they call it in? They'll have a discussion here. They'll call it not in. And there it is. That was really great movement. A stark contrast from what we saw just a little while earlier. With that point almost 20 minutes. This point has to be less than a minute.
Just really shows how offense can be key in Frisbee. As quick point from Wilson there. Very quick throws as well. Just able to carve up that defense and look at the score. 3-1 Wilson.
Great catches from Sophia there. And the finishing throw as well. And Anjali with the great catch in the end zone there. Made sure to shake her defender so she was able to get open and catch that disc. Margaret will look to pull this disc, raises her hand, signals she's ready. And AU seems to also be ready. So here we go. Great pull. That might roll a little bit as well. That'll land perfectly in. Just outside that red
on the
line.
sideline. Let's see if they're able to get out of this.
Great throw there.
Had to cut her deep there. Did not look though. And she hits a reset.
Wow. Great catch.
Incredible she's able to come down with that.
Margaret got her hand on it.
Some quick pump fakes from the AU player.
They really love those pump fakes. Want to get Wilson guessing.
Oh, unlucky roll there.
That's also, yes, very unlucky.
Looks like Wilson will
wow,
be
there you
pinned all
go.
the way on their end zone. That is incredible. About a 20-yard roll there after the throw, and you just don't like seeing that as a Wilson fan.
Disc is tapped in.
Margaret
works her way up. Great catch.
Snag.
Great catch.
One-hander from Margaret.
Almost like she has glue on those hands.
She
Another
finds
great
her
reset.
Seems that Rigby is open. Right on the
Great
sideline.
cut from Rigby. It's a great up line. What a catch. Reaches down with that hand and puts it up in the air. She's running for it. A little bit out of the reach, unfortunately.
Just a bit too far. There was no defender near her, and just a little bit too far as AU will start on their own goal line.
Waits to tap it in until her offense is ready. Swings
Bumped
that
there
disc
by
around.
the stack.
Seems to have hit the ground there.
That will be a turn.
And that will be a turn, yeah. So Wilson has it with just under 10 yards to go. Margaret will pick up that disc.
They are running their end zone offense here.
Oh, that's a great move from Nava, but not quite there. It's Delaney with the catch up in the air, and it falls to the ground. That's some good movement from Wilson.
Just a little too crowded. Yet again pinned in their own end zone.
Wow, that's a great throw up in the air. However, it did have a lot of blade on it again. Really doesn't give the cutters much to work with as they have to follow very sharp angles. It's a tough drop from Wilson. They'll look to get it back on defense here. Wilson looks to be forcing road as they look to get nothing to the other side. It's up in the air. Great defense from Delaney there. She seems to always be around the disc, making sure that that AU offense cannot get it. Margaret will tap it in. Looks for Rigby there. Doesn't seem to be open. Great reset throw there. And that's up in the air. Oh, and it's to Justine. Just over the hands of Ella. But Justine is there to get those seconds and score their 4th point of the night.
Beautiful throw there by Wilson. Right into the end zone. I believe it was intended for Juliet possibly, but
It was actually intended for Ella, but Justine was able to use those arms and really grab that disc, make sure it's not falling to the ground, as we have seen a ton of drops tonight, likely due to the earlier rain. Frisbee is one of those sports that rain can really have a detrimental impact.
we have seen weather does play a big part in these games. Luckily, not too much wind here, as that can cause some throws to go stagnant.
And that actually does seem to be halftime. So we are going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with you in the second half. Wilson currently leads 4-1, and we will talk to you in a few minutes.
Welcome back, everybody. Halftime is wrapping up, and AU will be pulling somewhat of a short half here, as it is currently 9:04 p.m. Pull is up.
Here's the pull. Another solid one.
Ooh.
It goes out of bounds, however.
Hope they're okay.
So that means Lily will get to center the disc. And there she goes.
So we have Liberty back with her, and Shan Shan is setting the stack.
Yes, yes.
Great reset there by Lily. Really come down with it. Great snag.
Great snag there.
So it is currently no reset.
That's some great defense from AU there. Read it like a book.
AU will get it on their 45-yard line.
And it looks to be yet another horizontal stack. We have 4 players about 10 yards away. Oh, great defense from Liberty. She runs through, doesn't give up on that disc. Now she'll look to pick it up and create some offense from that defense. Sophia will look to cut. That's a great cut there. Gets lots of separation. Gets open and snags it. Liberty will be back for the reset. Sophia will look at it. Smartly chooses the up line. Little collision there. Seemed to be okay. That's a great throw from Liberty. Great run from Fiona. Just a little bit out of the reach.
AU's yet again pinned on their own end zone.
Really have not had much offense here to speak of from AU, and that is reflected in the score. Also some amazing defense from Wilson.
The thing with that horizontal stack, it can get very crowded, giving you some tight window throws.
That is a questionable catch there. Might hit the ground, but they get the defense there anyways, so it does not matter.
Wilson will regroup here, a little too far for an end zone.
Liberty smartly switches sides, as you usually want that reset to come from the break side. Great cut from Sophia, only about 4 yards away. It's up in the air. Looking for Peyton there.
Great defense from AU. That defender just
in that
flew
far
in
corner
there.
of the end zone, and it's up. That's a great throw there. Will AU finally slow down the tempo a little, or will they look to speed it up as usual? Nearly did. Great job getting your hand on it by AU there. Really tough throw.
Almost came down with it. Would have been an incredible catch there.
Would have been spectacular.
As Wilson will regroup.
Lily taps the disc in there. Sophia doesn't seem to be open. Now Peyton will try to get open. Not there. That's a great reset there. Put it into space. Liberty's going to have to start looking at the reset, and she does. Lily calls out for her defenders, for her offense to cut. Sophia waves off her defender with that pump fake. Great reset there from Sophia. Lily to Liberty. Doesn't think that continue has enough space. So smartly pump fakes and decides to keep that. Now resets it. Some great resets here and a great break side cut. Contested catch, however.
Through the hands. Good defensive play by AU, though. Wilson has had great disc movement so far in this half. Just not able to capitalize. It's AU coming out with their 3-handler horizontal stack yet again.
A little over the head, that AU cutter.
A somewhat blady throw.
This is another long point. Not as long as some of the other ones we've had. That's some great defense from AU. Sophia slowed up a little bit at the end, allowed for her defender to run through that disc and smack it to the ground.
AU has been pretty good on defense so far. A lot of hand blocks I've been noticing.
Both defensive efforts have been very strong, which is why we see a score as low as this one. Great offense, just better defense. Lee will pick up that disc, look to advance it down the field. Taps in the disc. We'll have to start looking to reset it as the stall count's getting kind of high, and that's perfect. And that's a great cut by Peyton. However, throws it a little bit inside of her. Could not quite wrangle it.
By AU. Wilson has had some great continuation cuts this half, but AU has just sniffed out those resets.
That's a great upline cut from AU. Another good reset there. The resets have been quite strong. The downfield cutting is really their weakest point. And there it is again. However, seems to be a foul call as she raises that hand. They'll have a discussion about what they think they should do here. And I think there's no argument from Sophia there. Only a 3 or 4 yard gain, so it shouldn't hurt too much. They'll look to get that defense on this upcoming throw.
Handler's very far back. Interesting look by AU.
That's a good gut from AU there. Another good throw. Good throw, couldn't quite wrangle it. This is some of the best offensive momentum we've seen from AU all night.
AU has been cutting deep more. A lot of those cuts in the first half, in cuts instead of out cuts, but they have been cutting deep so far in this half. And we will see if they continue to as well.
That was a good reset throw. Made it a little bit of a tough catch. Couldn't quite grab it. AU starting to get into Wilson's half, something they haven't seen very much. We'll see how they adapt to that change. Liberty, great pressure from Liberty there. A very intimidating factor on this Wilson defense. Peyton will cut in. Doesn't seem to be open there. Look to reset it. Smartly pump fakes her reset up line. Beautifully done.
Wilson offense is just clicking right now.
Francis looked to be open there, however, they throw it to her later. It's great cuts by Francis. She had one cut deep, followed by another cut deep, and on that third one under, great cut. Just couldn't quite grab it. AU looked to tap the disc in. Francis with some great defense, putting those arms up, trying not to get that throw off. A few players there tried to converge on that disc. One came down with it. Now AU looks to advance it down. They're on their own 40, on Wilson's 40-yard line rather. However, their momentum is stopped by a costly drop there. Quite a long point again, nearing 10-15 minute range. That endurance is really getting tested here.
Keep in mind, both teams do have timeouts if they wish to use them.
It's great defense there. Throw was a little horizontal rather than vertical.
That has been the problem for AU today. A lot of bladey throws. Just really hard to catch some of those.
It's a good upline cut there from AU as well. Use that pump fake to her advantage. However, that throw seems to be in the ground. Any opportunity down in there, down near the end zone, has really been spoiled for AU by some inaccurate throws there. However, many of those throws have been wrangled by some really great catches. That's great reset defense right there. I think they're starting to learn that Wilson has that reset sequence, and AU defender jumped on that right there.
Absolutely. AU has begun to sniff out that reset sequence a little bit in a gotten some nice defensive plays on those upline cuts. We'll see if Wilson can adapt to that.
That's up, but it's not in yet. That is a great catch. Thought for a second there AU had rushed it yet again, but that AU cutter reaches behind her and snags it out of the air with her left hand. That makes the score 4-2.
Really great catch by AU there. A little bit behind, but was able to corral it with one hand. And score is now 2-4 Wilson. As the Wilson players are already ready to line up. Just ready to bounce back. Winds up for the pull.
There it is. That's a great one. One of the best of the night, actually.
A lot of height on that one.
And it will land inbounds.
Almost a 50-yard pull there.
And it will be Margot and Lizzie handling on this point. When Yang makes the cut. Not there. Goes for an up line. Beautifully done. Sees nothing open, looks for that reset, up line, very shifty. Oh, and a great snag. Oh, and that's up in the air. Can Juliet come down with it? She does. Very close. Now she has to keep her composure. Oh, and she resets it. That's beautifully done. Now they have time to set up this offense. Oh, that is masterclass. Absolutely beautiful. Juliet catches a long ball in the end zone, very close to the end zone, rather. Instead of rushing it and possibly causing a turnover, she resets it back to Margot, where she is able to throw it to Juliet yet again.
That is just perfection on that offense by Wilson.
Very nicely done.
Margot Neeson showing why she is a captain of this team, with some great throws and a great one-handed snag to keep the play alive.
I think that was Wilson's best point of the night for sure.
Wilson. Unlike a lot of the points that we've seen today, a nice quick point by Wilson, as they are now up by 3, and it seems that Margaret will be pulling. Both teams are lined up ready for the pull. Seems to be a bit of a faster paced game here. Wilson really looking to advance the disc instead of taking their time as they have been this game. With some quick throws there by Margot Neeson on the previous point. And simply just too much to handle for that AU defense.
Wilson extends their lead by 3, making the score 5-2. With some really great offense there. Some of the best of the night. It was the perfect combination of long throws followed by 1 or 2 short ones to seal the deal. And there's the pull. It's another good one. It'll actually roll It's a great roll. Will stay in bounds.
That might be the best pull of the night, right on the...
And they'll say it will stay in bounds. So they'll pin him on the sideline. That's really great.
Great roll there on the pull. Can't ask for too much more.
Margaret puts those arms up. Looks to intimidate that defender. That's up in the air. That's some great movement from AU. Some of the best of the night. Yet again. She'll look to put it out into space. Two of them there. Will they do it? It's dropped. Takes a tumble. Seems to pop right up. Good thing to see.
Should have set of bounds there as Wilson is on the sideline. Don't want to give her the disc here. AU would have some great field position.
Oh, and that they do.
Margaret looks for that reset. Margaret, my apologies.
And they see someone wide open in the end zone. Will they catch it? They do secure the catch with their body. Is in the end zone.
Two very quick points here.
Yes, for sure.
AU. Their
That's
third point of the night.
That is a great example of defense turned to offense. Defense, great by AU there. Disc fell to the ground, and smartly they pick it up and see a open cutter in the end zone and threw it to them.
AU's reset defense has really been improving over this second half. They've been able to sniff out those resets and got a nice hand block there. And as Eli said, defense just leading into offense. As an AU fan, you love to see it. And AU will be pulling as Wilson looks to regroup.
This has definitely been a faster paced game, as Josh said, in the second half. More characteristic of an ultimate game that you would see.
As some might know, Ultimate is more of an offensive-minded game. However, tonight we have seen some great defense from both sides, as we do have a fairly low-scoring affair here. However, offense has picked up in the second half.
You know, I'm going to respectfully disagree with that, actually. I think defense is just as important, if not more. You know, they do say defense wins championships, after all. And as we see from Wilson, they've had some great defense here, only allowing AU a mere 3 points. They have narrowed that gap a little bit. It's only 2 now. It's been the closest it's been since 2-0 very early in the first half. We'll look to make a run here and push it within 1 point. Seem to be ready for the pull. They raise their hand. Wilson does as well, and there it goes. That'll go to about its customary spot of the 50 to 45 yard line. It seems to, most pulls have landed right around there. Willie Frankel, one of this team's captains, will pick up the disc, try to command this offense down the field for their 6th point of the night. Peyton will clear. Liberty will do strong up line, really great. Liberty, very shifty, can shake her defender. And Lily will do the same. Great catch. Throw out some mustard on it. It's in the end zone. Can she come down with it? Oh, what a catch from Sophia. Thought she would grab it with 2 hands, however, it seemed to float just a little out of her reach, so had to catch up with it and snag it with that right hand. That was really great there.
Really great upline cuts there from Lily and Liberty, and was able to lead to that point there by Wilson as they extend their lead to 3. As the offense really has been picking up these past 2 points, as each point no longer than around 3 minutes. And just a back and forth game right now. The Wilson fans showing out tonight.
A rowdy bunch.
Rowdy bunch for sure. But you just love to see that team love and surely playing an impact in Wilson's lead tonight. As we have Margot with the pull.
She's one of this team's strongest throwers. We could easily see this be one of the best pulls of the night. Let's watch. Oh, and it is.
Oh my goodness.
Just as I predicted. That is the best pull of the night by far. Gets it all the way down
What a
to
60-yard pull there.
35. It's really great.
Showing why she is a captain of this team.
Juliet works with her cutter. Get something open. Winging also works to make sure that nothing will get to her cutter. Oh, that's great defense from Juliet. She runs through the disc, slaps it down to the ground. And now Wilson will get their offense set. Margot will be handling, just as she did last point. Lizzie will be her reset. Great cut from Wing Yang there. Sees nothing open. Great reset there. And Juliet smartly continues, however, not open there. Lizzie comes back as that reset. Juliet cuts it across to the other side. Some variety in her cuts. Really keeps that defender guessing.
Wilson shifts into their end zone set.
They do. Three handlers back. They did that very quickly.
What a grab there.
Great grab in
Juliet's
traffic.
throwing the tight windows and able to make the completion.
Wilson has to keep their composure here. Brings their third handler back. Oh, and that's a great cut. That is a great cut from Lizzie.
That is dirty.
That is filthy. Goes all the way across the field to the bottom of your screen. Immediately cuts it back across to the far side of the field. Leaves the defender in the dust with little remorse.
Goodness.
It's a great cut there.
One of the best cutters on this team, along with many others. Just a really shifty player, as she shows there. As Wilson jumps up to a 7-3 lead. It seems we have Josie on the pole. Wilson has had back-to-back points here. Very quick scores as of late.
They're really extending their lead. For a second, it was a 2-point deficit for American. But the score is 5-3.
Nice pull there.
But Wilson storms back, puts 2 more on the board, makes it a 4-point deficit, putting it quite possibly out of reach. With some good defense, they can secure this win and go home happy.
Wilson looking to bounce back from a loss last week against School Without Walls, as they have improved a ton from their last game.
That tournament there definitely